Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck spotlight on what I'm calling the Direhorn N'Zoth Warrior, as created by the ladder warrior Innate, and he piloted this deck to top 100 legend to finish the month last season, and this is day one of the following season, so this deck is still fresh and very powerful, and a new spin on Warrior because, of course, this does not include the new quest from Unguro. It's not loaded down with taunt minions, but of course it does utilize one of the best new taunt minions that we've seen with Journey to Unguro, which is the Direhorn Hatchling. Not only is this a good minion in its own right, just because it's a solid-bodied taunt, but the Death Rattle is nuts in that you get a giant taunt for 5 mana somewhere down the line. And of course, since that is a Death Rattle, there are some pretty obvious synergies here with the card N'Zoth. And since you do get 2 Direhorns, and this is a N'Zoth deck, that's why we're calling it the Direhorn N'Zoth Warrior. That said, Direhorn, of course, not the only Death Rattle that's going to squeeze into this deck, because you need more than just one to really make it work. Although, frankly, N'Zoth summoning just 2 Direhorn Hatchlings would be a pretty crazy play. But you've also got cards like Karen Bloodhoof, Infested Tauren, Loot Hoarders even, which is a little bit surprising, but sometimes you do need to refill your hand even after playing N'Zoth, and pulling these bad boys back can do a lot of work, not to mention the fact that these are just early game minions. As far as other Journey to Unguro cards, there really aren't many in this list. At its core, this is just the shell of Control Warrior, all the staple cards that you might expect to see from many past expansions, but you've got stuff like Gluttonous Ooze teched in to give you answers to weapons. This is good against both aggressive decks like Pirates, but it can also work against Paladins, who just tend to have those weapons laying around, whether it's from Tyrion or just True Silver Champion. Of course, there's other classes with weapons too, so this is a pretty valuable card more often than not. You also see Elise the Trailblazer here, which, not surprisingly, just a super value card that gives you additional resources at some point in the game while developing a really nice body along the way. Beyond that, it's all sort of what you'd expect to see in Control Warrior. I will say that the curve is very early game oriented for a Control Warrior deck, and that's okay because you do have so much resource generation and card draw through both Loot Hoarders, Acolyte of Pain, as we mentioned, Elise, Direhorn Hatchling. All of those things create additional cards to fill in the end of your list, and you have a very solid win condition with N'Zoth himself. So you don't necessarily have to have a really smooth curve in the late game just because you have so many big power plays. And of course, your cheap cards in this deck too are really strong removal, like Shield Slam, Execute, etc. So those go a long way. Not to mention you also have 2 Brawls in the list for even extra removal. So there's just a lot of ways to control the board, as Control Warrior is wont to do. So, all that said, I'm really kind of anxious to take this deck out onto the ranked ladder to see it in action, because I haven't played a Control Warrior deck in a while. I played some Taunt Warrior with the launch of Journey to Unguro, but it's, Control Warrior is an archetype that is always going to be around, likely, just because of the class's hero power and the kind of cards that it tends to receive, but it's what I've missed as of late, so I'm excited to see this deck in action. I can see certainly why it would be a great deck, and clearly it was. Finishing top 100 Legend is never something to be underestimated. That's a very hard thing to accomplish. Okay, so we got a Mage up first. Historically a good matchup for Warrior here, but we don't know exactly what's going on with this guy's deck, so we certainly need to be a little bit careful. Dirty Rat is way too risky. If I pulled out like an Antonidas and didn't have an answer, it would kill me. I think early game Dirty Rats are fine in some matchups. You just have to be really careful with that. Fiery War Axe is likely just the best card to always have in hand. Ravaging Ghoul's pretty good too. So we're looking okay. If this is just a straight up freeze mage, then armoring up every turn might be the best thing to do. But I don't really know exactly what kind of mage this is just yet. Armoring up here doesn't really accomplish much, and I'm not even going to hit this with weapon. I think I'll just save it for the Ravaging Ghoul on 3. My guess is this is just a secret / tempo kind of mage, right? And it looks like that's the case with Mage's Valet, but this could be a burn mage, in which case we will need to gain some armor eventually. Because armor is really good against people who are trying to kill you, of course. But this is a fine play, just to put some pressure on the board, to give us stats to trade up. We don't have a good turn 4 necessarily, but Dirty Rat would almost be worth it here. We could kill anything that came out, and it could hit pretty big. If it pulled out, you know, something small. Be a pretty nice little stat gain advantage in that swap. And if we pulled out an Antonitis, assuming that thing lives, we could theoretically kill the Antonitis too. Looks like that's just going to get frostbolted. That's totally fine. We'll probably just armor up weapon here. Again, the Dirty Rat is just too risky. I can only do 6 damage to any given thing that I pull out with the Dirty Rat, so I don't want to do that right now. We're just going to play a little slower. We've got some great turn 5 plays, and of course, this is a fine turn 6 play too, frankly. And I'd like to start armoring up as much as I can every turn. That's a very valuable asset as well for armor generation, of course, so that's going to be nice. Dirty Rat Brawl is also a really, really, really good combo to consider. You don't really mind throwing away a Dirty Rat because, you know, worst case scenario, you probably pull one of their minions in to die, and there's a good chance you also kill something very valuable if there's... I don't know that we'll want to risk it necessarily in this matchup, but it's definitely a possibility. I mean, I don't really know what secret that is. My guess is that it's simply Ice Block, but it really could be Mirror Entity, honestly. And that's a tad scarier. So I'm almost thinking about playing Armorsmith here, just in case. But I don't get to do much else with my turn, right? And that's not happy. Like, Direhorn Hatchling would feel much better, but of course I don't really want to give him a 3/6 minion. Although we do have Brawl. Let's just try it and see. I think Mirror Entity was fairly unlikely. It's more likely that this is just Ice Block or something of the sort. It's got a good ping value here, but and trade value too, but we just got to play our stuff as much as we can here. Fireball ping too. We get 6 to the face. It's pretty good. He keeps his minions up. It's a really good line. Oh, I want those back already. Give me one. Pretty dead card in this matchup, unfortunately. We could play the Armorsmith out, but it's just going to gain us 1 armor, and that's just not very good. I think I have to Dirty Rat here, and let's see what we get. And if it's something really high value, we might Brawl. If not, we might just play the Gluttonous Ooze and the Armorsmith. Well, that's also an outcome. There's a chance he runs Medivh and we regret this, but I think it's more important to just get the stats on the board right now. At least we get 3 armor out of that. A little bit of trade value. I need a way to kill this thing though. It's getting way too many attacks in, and this is just a very, very awkward hand. Goodness gracious. Card cycle's nice, but he's just not playing any minions, so these brawls get 0 value. He's all spells in hand, right? We know that because we saw it happen. I mean, shield blocks and stuff are still going to give us armor, and he's already used 1 fireball, which is a big part of his burn, presumably. So I think we're going to be okay still. It just makes me a little nervous. Oh, interesting. Okay. That adds a layer of guessing that we can't currently work around. I don't know what that is. We might actually just sleep with the fishes here. There's a chance that this is counterspell, but I can't really do anything about that if it is, right? And I don't want to play this first, so let's just try it and see. The reason I'm doing this, it might seem like that's pretty high value spells I just used in a nice little combo, but that's because I don't think he has that many minions in his deck. We have the Brawl if there's some crazy thing that comes out. So We'd get a pretty sick N'Zoth right now if we could play it, by the way. Pretty insane already, because we've played both Direhorns. The Infested Tauren's still alive, but we've also got a loot order. If this died, it'd be even better. It'd be nuts. It's already going face. Not too surprising, honestly. Yeah. It's not perfect, but... Oh, so it's barrier and block. We're going to have trouble racing this out. I didn't attack because if I do, then the taunt is gone and he gets to send 4 to face. This forces him to send the 4 into the minion theoretically, which gives me a little bit of extra armor smith boost. I'm going to need to see a shield block here, though, because he's already thinking about lethal. It's a shame in the early game we couldn't be really stupidly aggressive with our hero power because we had to resolve the minions that were on the board, right? We had to deal with those. So we didn't have any spare time to hero power extra, because every life point matters in this matchup. But, you know, not killing the minions would have just cost us more life in the long run, so how would that have been advantageous at all? That's actually a good draw here. I mean, I'd rather see a shield block first, right? Just to give me some health. But it did allow me to kill the minion, which is nice. These brawls are just totally dead cards, as I mentioned. Just useless. Absolutely useless. I doubt he has any more secrets, yeah. I think he's probably just running 1 copy of each. Or he might have a second ice block in hand, actually. This will give me some armor, at least, playing this minion. If I was him, I'm not sure that I would have even played a minion, depending on how much damage he actually has in hand. Because he just gave me kind of 2 free armor, right? It negated the ping completely. It didn't draw him a card, so I don't know that playing that out was particularly good, unless maybe he has like a volcanic potion or something he's trying to get through this thing. I don't really know. Can't kill that right now, which is insane, because it's only a 2/3. I need some way to kill this. Oh, Shield Block's a good card. Hopefully I get something to kill this. Ravaging Ghoul does not do the trick. It does give me some armor, I guess, and sets up a trade. Might as well do it. This is going to die with 1 armor gain if I don't do it right, because he'll just send the 2 attack minion in and hit it. But if I do the Ravaging Ghoul, I gain essentially 2 armor off of it. And we're back up to 31 health now. Like, he's taken so long to find the damage that we're just catching up. We're gaining 1 over his hero power every turn. Wow. That's an interesting line. That's more armor for me, actually. I don't mind so much. We only have 1 Sleep with the Fishes, so that's not going to be a card that we can draw. Sure. I'll execute this. We have Brawl if there's like an Antonitis or something that's really, really scary. Although, you know, the odds may not be great that we are able to kill it. But I do want to get that damage off the board. And it's not super likely that he has another big minion incoming, right? No idea what that could be. It could be absolutely anything. Counterspell. Oh, I feel like our hand is just very, very dead. Might go ahead and Brawl this. It's really only a... Is that just a terrible play? I draw a card, probably, off of its one thing I really like. And so in other words, I might Brawl. Unfortunately, the Mana Worm could win, but I might draw Fire War Axe and just be able to kill it anyway. There's also a chance that this gets Mirror Innate, and there's a chance that this gets Counterspelled, but at least we can test that for the Brawl next turn, right? Like, we can burn 1 Brawl for the next Brawl. Yeah, so this actually makes our Brawl a little bit better because it makes it more likely the Mana Worm dies. He gets a card out of it, but I'm not super worried about that. I mostly want to... Man, that is unlucky. Oh, but that's... See, that's what we were talking about. Essentially, we took quite a bit of damage off the board there. But again, I'm a little sad that our card draw is so weak right now. We need Acolyte of Pains. Another shield block would be a welcome sight to see. The worst thing he could do right now is just solo Antonitis, because I wouldn't have a way to Brawl it, most likely. Axe is fine, but it would have been better last time. I'll just hold it. There's really no reason to hit face. I think he's got all burn in hand, and we're at like 27, and he can't figure out how to kill me right now. And he's only gaining, or he's losing a health per turn right now when we trade hero powers. And we're close to top decking N'Zoth at any moment, right? Or at least a Direhorn. Some sort of threat to start pushing his health down would be very nice. God, can I risk this? I don't think it's worth the risk, honestly. There's not enough pressure, and I don't have a tool to kill, like I said, an Antonitis, so... But I don't know exactly what his deck is running. It's hard to say. It's day 1 on the ladder, by the way, is why I'm ranked 17, for anybody who's wondering. I forgot to mention that previously. I can kill anything now, so let's go ahead and pull this with the Shield Slam. All spells in hand. Wow. That's actually nuts. He's going to fatigue faster than us. He's losing, like I said, losing health every turn. Oh, there is the Medivh. We might have messed up a little bit. I don't care about that. We can still just Shield Slam the body here, which is... And make the trade too. That's totally fine. And this will draw me some cards, which is nice. He could get sneaky with like fatigue and try to ping it down over multiple turns, but honestly, I don't know that I mind. I want to find that N'Zoth, because I think that's the game-winning play. I don't want to see like a Flame Strike here. That could be bad. Elise is good. Pretty good card there. I could have used my face, by the way, to hit the 3-2 clearly, but I didn't think it was worth it. I'm going to have to here because I think I do want to kill this. The question is do I want to draw a card off of it first and just kill this Acolyte off so that the fatigue doesn't really hurt me? I think I will. I think I'll basically waste some damage here. Shield Block's a good card, I think. I definitely want the health, but the fatigue is a little bit concerning. Oh, but worth for sure. So like I said, we're going to waste some damage here, but I don't want him like pinging my Acolyte over 3 turns and getting me deeper into the fatigue debt here, because right now I'm losing the fatigue fight. But we'll be able to apply so much pressure here soon. The problem is both the Loot Hoarders are coming back, which is more fatigue debt, right? Oh, wow, but there's a lot of his burn just used. Was that a card he actually runs? Oh, my God. What? We got to do this for sure now. Is there any reason for me to actually pop that Divine Shield? I don't really think so. Oh, that was an insane roll. A discounted Primordial Glyph Pyroblast on Medivh that rolled a Tyrion. That could lose me the game because that's so much damage. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to get actually aided by these from fatigue because I'm going to get 2 cards added back into my deck here, which is pretty nice. We might just have the gas to win this after all, because there's so many huge Direhorn Matriarchs right now. I just don't know that he'll have enough gas in the tank to win the game over all these cards. I mean, the 5-attack weapon is great for him, don't get me wrong. Armoring up, a lack of an armor up here is sad, but at the end of the day, I really want to develop the pressure that these guys provide. We're going to be fatiguing about 2 cards faster than him, it looks like. He has a lot of burn in hand, I suspect. Oh, there's that card. It's 1 extra fireball. Man, he's actually able to go toe-to-toe with us, which is kind of nuts. The Blizzard Volcanic Potion was certainly a... Oh my god. He's been saving it all game. That's crazy. Stop it. I obviously have to kill this. Shield save my last card? No, Elise. I have an Elise too. Nice. So we'll just trade. Probably send 11 to the face. Might even leave this alive. I'm not super worried about it. So, you know, trade here. I don't have lethal, though, do I? I mean, ice block lethal, I should say. 12, 17, 22. Not quite. I could slam, but that does a lot of damage to me. I think I'd rather just go this route. I can't play either of these. I don't know if I'll ever even be able to play the I might go ahead and make... No, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to get the damage instead. How much? Let's see. We'll do 11, 14. We'll put him to 12. This would be 11 next turn plus 5. We'd have enough to pop the block, theoretically. So I don't think I want to trade. I want to commit as much damage here as I can. It allows him to kill this minion, but frankly, that's not a bad thing because it pulls me off fatigue again for a turn. Although I'd like to guarantee the Aggro pack first, I think. Oh, he's still generating resources. This game is spicy. I like it. This game is pretty good. Firelands Portal on the face. Oh my god, that's such a good roll again. He keeps getting insane rolls off of Firelands Portal. I think that means I can't, and it's a taunt, so I think I can't pop the block. Like, that is just nuts. I don't think I can pop the block this turn, right? There's no way for me to get there. No. That is really frustratingly good. Surprised he rolled that on face instead of going for the N'Zoth, by the way. And he got a card back. Like, how crazy is that play? He's going to be on fatigue soon, it looks like. Which, you know, is good for the ice block. No doubt about that. Although, I don't think we can put him to 1, unfortunately. Pyros is pretty nutty, but a little slow at the end of the day, I think. He's still going the burn route. I love it. He thinks he has time from the ice blocks, which he very well might. Ice block would be nuts off this. That's for sure. We saw Ice Barrier, so we know that that is, in fact, one of them. So I want to pop the block for sure. It doesn't really matter how we do this, I think. I want to make sure that, like, one of these minions is very likely to survive, even if he flame strikes or whatever. I don't know that I can, though, actually. He has 7. He might... Oh, but he can't use the weapon, so I can make this trade safely. It's sad that I'm never actually going to get this ice barrier popped, because he's never going to be able to hit my face. So I might just be dead still. I don't know how much burn he has. We don't have any life gain in our cards currently, which is a little bit unfortunate. Oh my god, is that lethal? Was that a mistake? Oh, I should have tried to play a 1-attack minion last turn, but the Acolyte was too risky, I guess. Because I can't put him to 1. But we can put him on a fatigue draw, and if I live through the turn, we can win, right? Yeah, if only I could have played a 1-attack minion other than Acolyte. I mean, Acolyte might have been worth it still, but it could have allowed him to do extra damage to me, which could have secured him a kill, right? So as it stands right now, like, we can put him down to 1, or put him down, we can pop the block, but this is only going to do 1 damage at the end of his turn. So if he's able to kill me, he still just wins, right? Which is unfortunate. I didn't actually think about putting down a 1-attack minion, but it would have been fairly valuable. I can't believe he actually played that. But I think we're probably just dead, right? I don't know if he has enough damage. No, we're gonna win. Cool. No, we're dead. We got 2 fatigue. Never mind. Wow. That sucks. We are dead. Oh my gosh. 1... Oh, you went on fatigue and we were going to win on fatigue next turn. Oh my god. Why? Why? I'm sure there's a way we could have lined up the damage better on that block. I'm sure that at some point 10 minutes ago... I'm sure at some point 10 minutes ago we lost that 1 point of damage that would have been relevant. Maybe we should have played the Acolyte anyway, just because... how could he have pinged it and done damage? I don't know. I think that's risky, though. Like, what if he had other cards in hand? Huh. I'd love to go back and watch that game again, because I'm fairly certain there was some way to win that game. I thought we were at 1 fatigue still. I guess we'd already taken a fatigue damage. That's annoying. Oh my goodness. My god. Should I hold for the Ravaging Ghoul or just play the Armor Smith? Or just bait out the Loot Hoarder trade here? The only issue is another pirate coming down. The 2-mana pirate would be problematic if I just play the Armor Smith, or... I mean, if I play the Armor Smith, he's going to trade in everything and kill it. I get 4 health. The question is, does this just get a lot better later behind a taunt? And I think the answer is yes. I think he uses the weapon here. We play the Ravaging Ghoul next turn. We deal damage to a pirate. We kill the other 2 pirates. That's fine. We actually might just... Wow, he's going face. So we're going to get to full clear. That's insane. Thank you for that. That is actually nuts. I can't believe that just happened. I'll take it any day of the week, though. Wow. That makes up for the game last game. That guy was running 2... No, he wasn't running 2 Pyroblast, by the way. I thought he was running 2 Pyroblast, but he had 1 from Primordial Glyph, didn't he? Because that was the discounted Tyrian summon, which was nuts. And that Direhorn actually won him the game, too, that he got off his Firelands Portal. He had... Or maybe it wasn't Firelands Portal. Maybe it was Medivh again. But I think it was Firelands Portal, actually. I think I'll save this, actually, when he doesn't have a good way to get through it, as he does right now. And instead, I think I'll just kill this and develop the Loot Hoarder here. He's not going to attack it with his weapon, so I think it gives me some additional power on board. I might even be able to use it with an Armor Smith or an Execute or something. If he plays like Naga Corsair, I could like trade Execute or maybe trade Shield Slam. What? Oh. Honestly, the trade execute line looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and play this Armor Smith. He's only got 3 damage here. He could upgrade, I guess, but that wouldn't feel super good to kill this, I think. I actually could, honestly, Shield Slam this too, I think, right? No, I'll only be at 3 armor. Not enough. It won't die. Oh my goodness. I can't play that now, but it's going to be insane later. Blood of Brave, though. What a card. I was not expecting... Oh, you did hit the Blood Sail, so he gets to kill the Armor Smith, which is sad. But we can Gluttonous use Shield Slam to make a pretty baller play, honestly. We can even slam this and use the Shield Slam on the higher attack minion here to reduce the amount of damage that we take. And now we have a huge taunt, 2 taunts. I don't see how we lose this game. He's down to 2 cards. We've stabilized with 25 health. Nothing. I don't think anything puts him back in this game at this point. Mortal Striking a 3/3 definitely doesn't put him in range. I think we're good to go. We're going to get to Direhorn armor up here. Never mind, we're just going to Direhorn, Mortal Strike. Mortal Strike. Direhorn Armor Smith, he just Mortal Striked. This is going to likely live. There's just no... I don't see how he wins here. It's a concede, yeah. Yeah, this deck is ridiculously well suited to beat pirates, by the way, which is a nice advantage. Apparently it's not ridiculously well suited to beat, like, control burn mages, as we saw. Although, again, I think that was a winnable game. I'm sure there were some different lines there that could have got us out of that one. But pretty easy stomp there of Pirate Warrior, which is always a nice thing to see. Always a nice thing to see in my mind. Even as a past Pirate Warrior player, I like seeing him beaten. Oh my goodness, I hope it's not that same guy. But at least we know what we're up against, perhaps. I'm going to toss it all back, look for some more early game stuff to do. Fire War Axe, Slam is fine, Ravaging Ghoul's good, Armor Smith's probably okay. Not a bad hand at the end of the day. actually just go ahead and coin the Armor Smith. It dies to a Frostbolt, but it does give me 2 armor in that case, and utilizes one of his cards and kills the Babbling Book. Plus, we can actually follow up with the loot order here, and I think there's a good chance that it doesn't actually die at all. If he plays like a 2-3 or a 3-2, we can like slam it to kill it, perhaps. I think we'll just use the slam on that. It's wasting a card draw, but we should have enough to get by for now. And in fact, I don't even think we want to fatigue again if this is the same kind of matchup here. Although I don't think we... Did we see Sorcerer's Apprentices actually played in that previous Mage game? I'm not sure. I think one was just summoned off Medivh on a Frostbolt. Okay, we can kill it again. We're going to have to trade in this time, but we'll be sure to do it this way to maximize our armor gain. We want this to take the damage before we trade it in and kill it, right? I don't mind killing his minions, though. Saving that sort of chip damage in the early game is going to make a big difference over what we were able to accomplish last time. Last time we couldn't get through all the chip damage at the beginning. We just took a little bit too much. This is probably okay. Armor ups are good. He's got a very easy removal option here. But we can play one of the good 5-drops next turn. Probably actually Direhorn right now. I'm not sure that I even want the Unguro pack just yet. That's a little scary, but I don't suspect we're going to summon a Direhorn hatchling for him. Ravaging Ghoul into Fire War Axe might just be a better play, though, honestly. To test the secret, just in case he's running some sort of shenanigan. It's very, very likely just Ice Block or Ice Barrier, as we would expect. But I'm really in no rush here. That's fine. Cairn is great next turn. Cairn Bloodhoof. Well, that's a weird play. That is a really weird play. I wonder why he Arcane Missiles there. There was no like actual synergy there. That was very odd. Looks like Ice Block to me. Hopefully he didn't get a Polymorph off the Tome here. Yeah, if he did, it's fine. Direhorn Hero Power looks fine for me this turn. Might just go ahead and run that in for the trade. Let's see what we get off this secret first. It could very easily be Mirror Entity, but we don't have a way to play around that right now anyway. We either summon him a 5-5 or a 3-6. I mean, I guess technically this gives him less value back on the end, so maybe we just go ahead and do it this way.
This jungle hides many secrets.
I don't think it's triggering, so... Oh, it is. It just took forever. Oh, that's actually the best possible thing that we could have played then. Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and make this trade. It might look a little odd, but he's obviously planning to ping this down regardless. And I don't really care about 3 damage to his face, but I kind of care a little bit about 2 damage to my face, to tell you the truth. So, I'd rather sacrifice a minion like that than that's going to die for free anyway, than take 2 unnecessary damage in this matchup where I suspect we're going to, again, try to be burned down. And that's not to say I won't use this weapon charge eventually, just perhaps on a higher priority target, or on some sort of combination that gives me better results, right? We might do this. We can kill whatever he pulls out because we have shield block for 7. So we can kill a Medivh, we can kill an Antonidas. In fact, this could hit pretty big. And that's 6 mana total. So let's see what we hit here. Or we could get at Blood Mage. I mean, this is a little better to save sometimes for the end of the game, right? When he's probably sitting on those cards. But you never know, and we have another one, so it's not like we've wasted our opportunity here. I will go ahead and kill this with my face. And the reason I want to kill it is because spell damage can be scary in some ways. Card cycle was nice for him. He got kind of free card cycle, but just in case he wanted to use that spell damage somehow, we kind of stole that from him. Another Kabbalist Tome. My god. Fireball. He's thinking about it. I would fireball this one, personally. Frostbolt, okay. That's fine. Double Frostbolt, okay. Cool. That signals Volcanic Potion for sure. Let's shield block, see if we can find something good. Gave him a shield block, that's fine. Oh, thank God we didn't give him an Unguro pack, right? Woo! That was some favorable. Oh my God, Lyra is nuts. Stampede into Sabertooth Tiger is actually a play as well. That's pretty good Unguro pack. Feeding Time, nah. But like Lyra, Sleep with the Fishes, Shield Slam are both really cheap spells for Lyra. That's pretty crazy. We might see a Blizzard here or Volcanic Potion. He signaled either, right? Playing a lot of spells right now. We can actually use this with Lyra too, with the Stone Sentinel. That's nuts. I mean, this kind of looks like a Brawl turn almost, right? We could take like a 40% chance to win the Brawl. And if it, what would we play if we didn't win the Brawl? Anything that, yeah, I mean, we kind of have the better board, but we also don't have ways to kill this stuff very well, right? I mean, I guess we could just take one of these big ones off the board. We could take both of them off the board with Shield Slam, but it kind of removes my ability to kill like an Antonitis. We have an Execute. We could leave the little one. Actually, we don't even have to leave. We can kill everything with Feeding Time. I guess we'll do it. I might just leave the small one up. I don't really see a need to... I don't really see a reason right now to Shield Slam that. That's for sure. I think that's a pretty valuable asset for like an Antonitis. Just in case we end up somehow without an Execute Activator. It's not like this is threatening my face right now very much. Lyra could just be so good with Shield Slam, Execute, Sleep with the Fishes, giving us like heals or just one of a bajillion great priest cards, right? Oh, that was sort of a favorable roll, honestly. Wow. Is he going to trade or go face? He'll probably go face here. Which I don't mind. We might actually make that Lyra play right now. Execute this and Shield Slam this. Again, though, that steals my ability to deal with an Antonitis. Maybe I trade Sleep with the Fishes in Lyra. Yeah, I think I like that better. Sleep with the Fishes is not quite as valuable. We could Stampede, too, just for, like, the free cycle. We can Pine-Size Potion for the free cycle, too. We can Forbidden Shaping for the cycle, I guess. It gives me a 2-drop. Not particularly exciting. Would I rather just wait till the end to use that? Or I might just get a 1-drop after I Stampede here. Or a 0-drop. That we can actually silence the 0-drop here to get another spell. It's not bad. That's it. At the end of the day, it wasn't... I mean, we only ended up with a 1/1 +2 attack and a couple spells that are halfway okay. But still, if he doesn't have an answer for this, we can go ham this turn. Absolute ham. He has to kill this somehow. He's got the Fireball, looks like here. We're going to overdraw a card because of a weird Cold Light Oracle play. But that's likely not going to be too relevant. That's actually probably the best possible thing to burn, to tell you the truth. How do I not have a way to kill that? I think we have to play the Stone Sentinel here. It's pretty big Flame Strike bait, I guess. But we can put the... if he does Flame Strike here, we're going to get a ton of armor back at the very least. He'll have to either kill this or, you know, ignore it and leave me with a 4/2. Ping probably doesn't give him much extra value here.
Excuse
No Flame Strike. That's a good sign. We're going to get some armor. Gonna get some armor, boys. Like to see that. Ah, yeah, he gave up. Cool. Cool. He was running out of cards here. We had a lot of armor. I think he saw the writing on the wall. Well, we got some redemption, boys. We got some redemption. I don't think that deck was nearly as well-suited to beat us as the previous Mage deck we saw. So, maybe not full redemption, but still. We got to beat a Mage with a little bit of revenge, which I'll take. So, let's play one more game. I think one more is going to be sufficient. We played 3 so far. I like the deck. It's fun. We felt a little light on card draw that Mage game, but that time felt much better. We hit the Unguro pack early. It gave me some crazy cool combos. I just love the potential that holds. So, this is a fine hand. Got most of our good early game stuff. We don't know for sure what kind of priest this is. Most likely some sort of like control combo priest. Could be a silence priest, although those have certainly fallen out of favor lately. Maybe even a dragon priest, which, you know, Fire War actually be pretty good against that, I think. Guess he's got a pretty heavy mulligan decision here. Not a bad card again. I don't think Priest runs a lot of token 1/1s, but this can help like chip up a minion for Fiery War Axe kills and so on and so forth. Deep in thought is this Priest. I'll just develop the weapon here and actually hold it. I mean, sure, he could have Acidic Swampoos it. If that happens, it happens. But the Ravaging Ghoul is just too efficient here to just send a weapon into that, I think. He's not going to play a Radiant Elemental into this. He's thinking about it, maybe. He's like, should I play Radiant Elemental and just let it die? Or Shadow Visions, I guess. It's a bit of an early Shadow Visions. I don't know that he knows what he wants yet. I mean, he might have some really good stuff he just goes for always. Man, do we just play this into that instead? I think so. Why kill it when we can use it to our advantage? Could Shadow Word Pain this guy? Whatever. It happens. We'll have a good 4-drop to follow if he does. Did he actually... Is that what he picked off Shadow Visions? I think it might have been. We have a lot of good Shadow Word Pain targets, so... I really, genuinely don't mind that happened. And I think we have enough cards, too, and Loot Hoarder will help. And plus, we've got our heavy hitter here. But we have all the Direhorn hatchlings are great Shadow Word Pain targets, and that's now a resource that he has used on an Acolyte. Which, I mean, it's still a reasonable play for him. I'm not criticizing his play. Just that it's not that... Oh my god, there's the other one. It's not that unfavorable for us in the scheme of things. And there's a Shadow Word Pain target, for instance. There you go. I don't know why he said thank you. Who knows? Maybe he gave me... I gave him... what could I have given him? Wasn't it an Azoth, I don't think. Maybe a Karen. We're going to have a nice Azoth turn. And a lot of our stuff will dodge even Dragonfire Potion. I don't love any of our plays here, obviously. I think we just Loot Hoarder Armor up, to tell you the truth, and kill this with what we can. We could, like, trade weapons, sleep with the fishes, but this is such a good combo. I don't think I can pass that up. I think I just have to trade this way. I don't love that we put 3 things out there at 1 health in case he got like a Ravaging Ghoul or even, you know, Holy Nova or whatever. But I think it's the best I can do at this point. And we're putting some Death Rattles out there. We've currently got the Direhorn, the Infested Tauren, and the Loot Hoarder as our N'Zoth bodies. I'd like to get like 1 or 2 more really good ones. I think that means we just get to kill that. That's fine. We can just play the Ravaging Ghoul. Trade, Ravaging Ghoul is probably okay. What's he thinking about there? I don't have any zero-cost cards, so I don't think it's anything we were doing. The Fire War Axe doesn't really help me get through this, right? And if I want to play a Ravaging Ghoul, which I think I ultimately do. So let's draw first. That might actually change my line a little bit. Second Loot Hoarder is okay. We can play it after our Ravaging Ghoul here. Maybe I should have traded that in first to increase the likelihood we actually got a Direhorn, right? There's a chance instead of getting whatever we had off the top. Oh, I guess the Loot Hoarder. We could have populated the deck with the Direhorn and very slightly increased our likelihood of getting the new one. But I don't know that I even want that necessarily. Loot Hoarder might even be better just because it's more N'Zoth bodies faster. Although these are certainly the weakest N'Zoth bodies in the deck. Much prefer the Direhorns. So thankfully we got N'Zoth pretty early. I don't think he's had any chances to get N'Zoth, right? From like operatives, for instance. That's kind of annoying to deal with. We don't have an execute. My god, an execute would be a dream. Shield Slam can't get me there yet. Let's just leave it actually for now. Let's just like trade here and weapon. Because I don't think we're gonna be able to get through this. If by chance we do draw the execute, we can just sacrifice a minion for it. No, that's what I figured would happen, right? Unfortunately, I just don't have a good thing to play right now. I think I'll just throw this out to sacrifice it. It's obviously a great trade for him, but I want to develop something, and a little bit of armor means Shield Slam might help kill this. We'll see. We're getting close to N'Zoth, but again, I don't know that N'Zoth is good enough yet. We might have to hold it. He has so many cards in hand, and probably a lot of value incoming all the time, that we gotta be careful. Third Shadow Word Pain. That's still not a bad thing to see. I don't think he's got any more. Or I guess he could get one more off Glyph, but... This is kind of risky, but I've got a cool follow-up with Sleep of the Fish's Ravaging Ghoul. I could also actually armor up Shield Slam a Lyra. So I don't think anything I get off this is going to kill me. Can't really kill that, unfortunately. So that kind of backfired. It's a pretty good card for him to get, too. Maybe I should have hit the Northshire first. Instead, I think I'm just going to park it here. I could kill this. This would theoretically live to the board. He'd get more draw off the Northshire, though. If I Ravaging Ghoul, Sleep of the Fishes, I could kill quite a bit. But, of course, I hurt my Dirty Rat pretty significantly, too. It takes 4 damage. I think it's actually fairly important, though, that I kill that Northshire. This being at 6 versus 2 is relevant because it could have lived to the Twilight Drake before, but... And that was a pretty bad Dirty Rat at the end of the day. The one thing we couldn't kill was the one thing that we didn't know he had. I may have to go for N'Zoth next turn if I don't have any other cards to play. I guess he felt it was really necessary to clear my board. That seemed like an odd use of resources to kill those minions. Did it really matter if the 3/3 was up? Maybe he just wanted to keep the Northshire Cleric alive? I really need a minion to play. I don't like where this game is going. We're just out of cards. Maybe Shadow Word Pain on the Acolyte ended up being the right play after all. Well, that's sort of intriguing. Can I just sit here for a while? Bait him into playing cards? I just don't know that N'Zoth is good enough. Although N'Zoth does draw me a lot of cards. The problem with N'Zoth is really a Dragonfire Potion at the end of the day. I guess it's worth it. I guess I gotta do it. 2 cards drawn, 2 relatively large minions. Which, you know, do feed back into the deck at least a little bit. I mainly just wanted the card draw here. Dragonfire Potion doesn't do a ton to the board. He does obviously have the dragon, which helps. And he could kill everything. Except for the 2/2, perhaps. Or N'Zoth, whichever he chose to leave alive. He should have attacked first. There. I think. That means he now doesn't necessarily get to kill these. Because he could have ran that in to do the 1 year. That wasn't a bit odd. I think he just forgot. Which happens to the best of us. No big worry. Certainly made many misplays myself, sir. Well, this actually puts us in a little bit of a better position now. That's fine, too. We get some big Direhorns coming, so I don't even mind that. Let's open with the slam here. We could shield slam that, but I think it's just going to die eventually now. It's taken enough damage. I'm not that worried about it anymore. I like this alright. I think we're caught up a little bit now. We need to get that Unguro pack unleashed soon, though. That's a bit problematic. Thankfully we have an answer if it doesn't get like crazy buffed. Save the coin for Lyra, that's nuts. I take it back about being ahead. I don't think we're ahead anymore. Shield slam for the cheap Lyra. Wow. I like it. Holy smite. I would have holy smited this to set up the trade, I think. Hit some expensive spells, dude. Oh, it's good Lyra fodder, but at least it doesn't put me behind. I don't really care about face damage. He kind of wants to heal, I bet, because he doesn't want to sacrifice his Drake. Inner Fire. I don't care about that. I'm just going to shield slam anyway. Be the last spell. Good. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. That gives me an Acolyte play. Unless he has silence or something. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, we're in a good spot then. Wow. Okay. It's like the ultimate priest answer card here. We got through the Lyra. Yeah, that was pretty good stabilization. We don't know what he got, but I don't know if it could be that good. Our hand is clunky as all get out, unless you play some big minions. But fourth Shadowward Pain. Okay. Fine. Whatever you gotta do. 8 mana Forbidden Shaping is scary. Wow, he got the Grom. We can execute very easily on that, though, which is nice. And Elise is an insane follow-up. So, at the end of the day, not so bad. I've seen some crazy summoning effects this round of games. Tyrion, Grom, basically all the heavy hitters. Like every prominent class legendary has made an appearance in this particular video, which is funny. It's a good shield slam target, obviously. Can pump 9 to face, maybe. He's going to Shadow over Death Elise. That's fine still. Can still hit 9 to face. Unguro pack, Unguro pack, Unguro pack. Oh, we called it. Huh. Alright. You can work with some of those. I think I still gotta shield slam this. And I'll go ahead and play this, not because I care about the damage or the body, but I want to activate this Calamos. If we don't have lethal, that is. Dino size might just give us lethal. We'll have 14. Probably won't give us lethal because he'll probably heal. Oh my god, he got our Elise off Crystalline Oracle. That's crazy good. So So Dino Size makes this a 10-10 and this a 4-5. That's not enough. That's only 14 damage. Is it still worth it to just hammer him for 14 though? I don't know. Let's Calamos, I guess. Sure. Why not? I think this is okay. This will be activated this turn. Next turn. We might have lethal again, maybe, with this. This is worth more damage, though, so we'll just see. If 2 minions survive, I think we'll probably have lethal. This is 14. I mean, the Karen is very likely to survive. He's very likely to trade into the Servant of Calamos. So I think we'll just have lethal. Unless he finds a taunt or something. But we're in a great position to win the game regardless. Crazy hand. Pretty good Elise pack, honestly. Sudden Genesis, actually, oh my god, I could have gotten a Karen here. I didn't even realize that after trading. That would have been nuts. Did I have the mana? I did have the mana. I could have just sacrificed a hero power. I don't... Oh, shield block's enough. That's pretty good. God, am I just going to Sudden Genesis here? We don't have lethal, right? Blaze Caller sure feels pretty good too, though. Because this will be the last time I can activate this. Sudden Genesis will be good in future turns, probably. But I'll never get to activate this Blaze Caller again. I can use it to just kill Elise. And trade in here. We'll leave up the Draconid Operative, but that's probably alright. He's at 17, right? So we don't have lethal. This makes this 10-10. Remember, it's not a plus 10 buff. It sets it to 10. So that's 14 total damage. He's at 17 health. We can't play the Blaze Caller and that, so I don't think we're at lethal yet. But we'll punch him for 4 this turn. Dragonfire Potion is probably still not good enough here. You either have to leave up the Karen. I mean, it might be good enough to stabilize and not die next turn, but I don't think it's good enough to resolve the board alone. He needs something else. Looks like we're going to see it, too. It looks like a Dragonfire Potion play to me. But he leaves me at a 6-1 here. Which I can make a 10-10. Which actually might be worth it just for the heal. He's used 2 Shadow Word Deaths in both of the glyphs. So I don't see how... Or Shadow Visions, not glyphs, excuse me. I always confuse Primordial Glyph and Shadow Visions. He's used both of those, so I don't see how he'd kill this unless he got like an execute off of us or something. Oh, he's just going to brawl. That's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good. Our worst target won, unfortunately. But again, we can set it to a 10-10 if we want. And just play the Armor Smith. I think I will. Let's just punch him down. If this takes a little bit of damage, we could maybe summon another one. That'd be cool. I think that's the way it works, right? Is it a copy as in a Faceless Manipulator copy? I've not used this card, or is it a copy that goes to the base stats? I think since it says summon a copy, it's actually... Oh, whoa. That's pretty good. Is he actually gonna... He can't execute, he doesn't have the mana. He's just killing our Armor Smith for us and gaining some life. That's fine. So does this actually work, guys? Does anybody know? Well, by God, I guess we're going to try it, aren't we? Turns out it works. I think we still got to go face, right? We have so much health. We have brawls. Like, if somehow he were to deal with this board, which I don't think is possible, I think we still just... We're so safe that... That's crazy. 2/10/9 Fire Plume Phoenix is thanks to Dino Size. We Dino Sized a Phoenix and then we copied it. That is nuts. And he did damage. It's the only reason I was allowed to do it. That's the only reason this was possible is because he pulled that play off. Does that keep him alive? No, we have the execute, so that's game. Who knew the 10 attack Fire Plume Phoenix was going to be what won us the game? That was crazy. All right, so we lost that first game, but gosh, were we ever close to winning it. 1 damage off. Probably should have won it if I'd played it better somewhere along the line. And after that, we won 3 straight, which is nuts. Pretty cool deck, guys. I like this one a lot. It's fun. N'Zoth is crazy. Elise makes for some fun highlights. There's just good value cards along the way. It felt really good to play this one. I think I might continue to play this. It's a different spin on Warrior. I don't necessarily know that it's advantageous for people like mulligan incorrectly or anything, other than perhaps against Pirates. But still, a fun little deck. So if you're curious to try this one out, I certainly encourage you to do exactly that. If you have any comments, questions about the Direhorn N'Zoth Warrior by Innate, I'm happy to read what I can, maybe answer occasionally, but of course my community is great and they'll chime in with some discussion and comments of their own. So please do leave your thoughts in the comments below. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, game on.